Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is Malia. For today's video, we have what to expect when visiting Medellín Colombia. So I spent 1 month in Medellín Colombia and I was all alone. It was just me and I was fine. So everyone needs to calm down. Everyone is freaking each other out for visiting Colombia or South America for not for no reason, but if you take the safety precautions and advice from others, I feel like you'll be fine. I was fine. You know, I'm a 5'1", 100-pound woman, and I was fine there for a whole month. I literally had 0 issues. So I'm gonna share some things that I was doing and just some advice for other people because I feel like it'd be helpful to know some of these things. And honestly, a lot of these things were trial and error. Didn't know if it was gonna work or not, but it did. So I'm gonna share what I did. Basically, definitely go watch other videos, go read different articles and blog posts and learn from a lot of other people's experiences because it's gonna vary by each person. My experience would probably differ from a man's experience. Just get advice from a broader perspective instead of just from one person. I don't know, I just think it's a good thing to get advice from a lot of different people and to kind of have your own collective idea on what to do when you're visiting different cities or countries, but for this video especially Medellín Colombia. So we're gonna be going through all the things that I feel like is helpful to know before visiting Medellín Colombia. We're talking about safety, money, location, Spanish knowledge, transportation, and then I have some extra tips. Okay guys, I have been recording for only 20 minutes and I already know I have so much information to share with you guys. I'm making this a 2-part video because I have way too much and I don't want to make this an hour-long video. Without further ado, let's hop into the video. I'm going to start off with something that I think everyone wants to know about, and that is the safety. The safety in Medellín, Colombia. Let me tell you, it is very different than how it was described in the 80s or the 90s, or for those that don't know, that's the Pablo Escobar era. I honestly felt pretty safe there. I will say I feel like I did have to look over my shoulder constantly and make sure I had all my stuff on me all the time and I had my stuff hidden away. No one came up to me, no one gave me any problems, I didn't get robbed. I literally didn't have any issues with anyone or anything, but I did feel kind of overwhelmed the whole time I was there just because it was just me, and I met friends along the way, but you know, most of the time it's just gonna be me going out to the grocery store, going to a cafe, a restaurant, going to school. To have to look over your shoulder every feeling every second and just being so hyper aware of your surroundings and everything, I feel it was kind of tiring and it's just not the most fun. But like I did say, I had no issues with anyone, so maybe I was doing too much, but I feel like I was doing just enough because once again, I had no issues with safety or with anyone that I met or that I passed by. So one of the main tips, and you will hear this a million times if you visit or have visited Colombia, is no dar papaya. Don't give papaya. That's what it translates to. I'm so confused on why they use that one. I'm not really sure, but basically that means you know, don't give money, don't be flashy, don't be showing off in any type of way because it makes you a target and, you know, people can follow you around. You don't know anyone, you don't know who's who, you don't know how things work yet. So no dar papaya, don't be so obvious and flashy wearing your nice jewelry, your new watch, have the new best tech out, you know, don't have your phone out on the street, things like that. Literally don't make yourself have such a target on your back. Here's the thing. Colombia is a very affordable country if you're from the United States because our dollar is so strong. And so, you know, for some people they're like, oh my gosh, I'm rich in this country, so I want to show off a little bit. Don't do that. Don't be stupid. For me, all my outfits were extremely basic. I wore either blue jeans, parachute, or cargo pants, or black pants. And then all my tops were either tank tops, t-shirts, solid colors. But I wasn't wearing Gucci, Balenciaga. I didn't have any designer purses with me. So just don't be so obvious and flashy. If you have money, cool. We don't care. Other people will care and they'll rob you for it. So be safe. Please take precautions for everything. So for me, like I said, I was very simple with my outfits. The jewelry, I don't even think I wore my jewelry because I was that nervous that people are gonna be like, oh my gosh, what if those are real diamonds? And I'm like, they're from Walmart, you know? I get my jewelry from like Kohl's, Target, Walmart. It's cheap. What if it looks expensive to other people and it makes me a target? So I don't think I ever wore any of my earrings, and I have my triples and my cartilage pierced, for those that don't know. So I have a lot of earrings and I didn't want to make it so obvious, so I didn't put in any earrings. I usually wear this necklace or my silver necklace, but I wear the same necklace every single day typically. I never wore it once when I was there. And I also have this, bracelet. It's so cute. But yeah, I have this bracelet that my mom got me for my college graduation, and I did not wear that one day because I'm like, oh, what if someone sees it and tries to like snatch it off my wrist, but it doesn't come off, things get violent, you know? I'm like, let me just take it off. It's 30 days, not even 30 days. It was the month of February. I was there for 28 days, took off all my jewelry, and I was fine. I did not want to make myself a target. I flew from Tampa, Florida to Panama, and in Panama to Medellín, Colombia. And when I was in Florida, I went to Target and I picked up this money belt. Hold up. I think I was looking for a money belt, but I didn't actually think I was gonna find one. And this could not have been a more perfect item to have. So this is the money belt here. And then this is the opening of it. And you got the straps. You can't even tell that I'm wearing it, and it's perfect. So I would take my phone and I would put it in here. I'd put my house keys, cash for the day, more items that I wanted to keep safe and out of like the public eye. So then, you know, you zip it up, put it around your body, and I would put it into the pants I would wear for the day. And I will say, I don't wear tight pants, I don't wear skinny jeans or anything like that. So all my pants were remotely big, but they kind of just are like straight legged. But you literally couldn't tell that I was wearing this underneath. So I had my normal bag with me, you know, as I'm walking down the street. And if someone would have came up to me with the gun, it would have been like, give me your phone, you know, whatever. I've never been robbed, if you can't tell. Someone's like, hey, give me your phone. I would be like, okay, here's the cheap phone that's in my bag. My actual phone that's $1,000 is tucked away in my pants, and no one would know. So this was like the best thing that I bought for myself. And people would always be like, why are you digging your pants? Like, why are you? And I'm like, I'm getting my phone because I'm gonna be safe out here. You guys can have fun getting all your stuff stolen, and I'm gonna be extra careful, and no one's gonna steal stuff from me. And no one did. Another safety tip for you guys is to not walk around alone as soon as the sun is already set for the day. Every time the sun would go down, I would already be back in my Airbnb. I wouldn't have any more errands to run for the night or for the day in general. This was something that I kind of was annoyed about as well. I didn't have to stay inside, but I did read online that obviously you're in a more vulnerable position if you're walking, you know, down the street by yourself with no one else around and no one can see you when it's dark, and, you know, people get into bad situations like that. So I just told myself to just be inside, and if I wanted to do anything after the sun set, I would just call an Uber instead of walking around my neighborhood. And I was in an extremely safe neighborhood. My neighborhood was really nice, and like there weren't ever any issues, but I'm like, you know what, just in case, let's just stay inside because we haven't had any issues. I personally would not be walking around at night when you don't know where you are, you know. And this can be said for every city or country that you visit, not just Medellin. But I just felt more safe to either stay inside or just to call all my Ubers to whatever cafe or bar or whatever restaurant that I wanted to go to for that night. So I was just saying that when the sun goes down, definitely stay inside or take Ubers. Now, Uber is illegal in Medellin. I don't know if it's illegal in other cities in Colombia, but I did take a lot of Ubers while I was there. It's the exact same app. It works the exact same way. It has the safety features. It has everything. It's the same layout. The name is a little different when you order the rides, but do not take the taxis. That was one of the main tips that the locals would share with me. Most of my tour guides, anyone I would meet at language exchanges, the main thing they would say is do not take the taxis here. They're like, we don't trust the taxis. You shouldn't trust the taxis, especially if you have a lower level of Spanish and you can't communicate as well, they could easily take advantage of you, not even start the meter, charge you so much more money. I don't know. There have been a lot of horror stories about taxis, and there's no one, like no one's tracking you. At least with Uber, you're on the app, you can have the safety features there. You can have people like track your ride. I would always send my rides to my mom so she could see where I was going. All of the locals that I met in Medellin were like, do not take taxis. They're like, take Uber, Cabify, or any other ride sharing app. I think another really popular ride sharing app was Didi, and I had zero issues with my Uber drivers. Driving in general in Colombia is interesting. I can talk about it more, but you may feel like, oh my gosh, this driver is so unsafe, he's not following normal driving laws. They just drive like that, so you're fine. It's very normal. Also, most of my Uber drivers were really nice, and I got to practice my Spanish a lot with them, so it's kind of like a little, like a free Spanish lesson, and some of them would want to practice their English with me. Before, when I was saying no Dar Papaya, I also mentioned not having your phone out on the street, just like, you know, looking up directions, having it out, because people will snatch it. People will take it away from you, and you'll be like, oh my god, they stole my phone, and you can't do anything about it. So like I said, I have that money belt. I keep my phone in there, but if I did need to use my phone for directions, to call an Uber, I would either go inside of a mall, a grocery store, or a hotel, or a hostel, even if it was like a pretty nice hostel. And I would go to like the main lobby, and I would just wait over there, look up on my phone, be kind of close by security just in case anyone tries to like mess with you or steal your phone. But that way you're out of the street. A lot of times people on motorcycles or mopeds, Vespas, whatever you want to call them, if you have your phone out on the street, they'll just snatch it out of your hand as they're driving, and then they're gone. And I met this one guy at this one pool party, and he told me that he's been living in Medellin for 3 years. And the day before the pool party, he got his phone snatched out of his hand from a guy on a motorcycle because he was on the street, and he was like, I knew better. He's like, I've lived here for enough years that I should have known not to have my phone out. That's just another advice for you, that if you do want to use your phone, go into a more public area that's like a safe area. Like I said, a mall, grocery store, hotel or hostel lobby. That way you're out of the public and people can't just like take your phone so fast out of your hands. I was most nervous about getting my phone stolen. Like I don't know why, I really thought it was gonna happen this time, because when I moved to Spain, everyone told me to like watch my phone because people are always pickpocketing. Spain is easy compared to Colombia. I was so nervous in Colombia. You know, all of my friends got their phones stolen in Spain, and I still was not that nervous about getting my phone stolen there. In Colombia, I'm like, my phone could get stolen very easily, and I would like to say I had 2 phones on me and they both survived the whole trip. Good for me. Okay, I'm gonna group these next tips into like all the same thing. So we're gonna talk about dating, prostitutes, drugs. I do not think I should be grouping that all together. Wait, let me let me group together dating and prostitutes, and I'll talk about drugs at the end. Let me say, I think safety is worse for men than women in Medellin. I am probably not exactly right on this one, but I feel like a lot of men have had a lot of scary experiences compared to women in Medellin. And I'm in a lot of different Facebook groups where people share their experiences and tips and advice, and I'm in a lot of travel groups just in general also. And every time someone would talk about Medellín Colombia and something bad happening, it usually would be about men. And I was so surprised. I'm like, in what country are men being treated worse than women? You know, that just like doesn't really happen. The passport bros are low-key ruining Medellín Colombia, and they're irritating. I don't even technically know what a passport bro is. Passport bros in Colombia specifically go to Colombia to pick up women and to do drugs. Like, they're ruining the image. It's like, you want to explore Colombia or a city or a country to learn about the culture, the history, try the food, you know, and then these men over here are going for women and drugs, and it's just gross. I'm not saying all men are doing this, but it's a pretty high reason for men visiting Colombia. Not all, but for some. And so a lot of things with dating recently, this is why I was gonna group drugs with dating and prostitutes, because a lot of guys will go on Tinder and they'll try to go on dates with women, and the women will end up drugging them and robbing them. This one Asian American, he ended up actually passing after this experience happened to him. It was all over my different Facebook groups about being in Medellin, and his family had to hire a private investigator to figure out the whole situation. A lot of men have been getting drugged on these dates that they go on with these random women. Either they get robbed, or even worse, they get killed. So definitely be very, very careful about dating. I didn't date while I was there or like try to talk to anyone or do anything like that, but I feel as if you should meet the people, like you should meet them in person, or you should know maybe common friends or something like that. Online dating is already pretty dangerous, so doing that in a whole nother country, you may not know the language very well, you don't know anyone that knows these people, and all these different things happening about a lot of men getting drugged and robbed and all these different things. I just maybe wouldn't go for it. I mean, everyone can do what they want, but I would just be extra careful. Same thing with the prostitutes. Prostitution is illegal in Colombia. I'm pretty sure in the whole country it's legal. So it's also very enticing to a lot of these men to go to Medellin and, you know, get a prostitute. But some of these prostitutes are also, you know, drugging these guys or robbing them. And so I don't know, just be very careful. Once again, I don't think you should be going to these countries for drugs and prostitutes. Like, I just think it's kind of sad or gross. You know, we get it, is like $5. Go get some. But I actually don't know if that's true. Some guy in my Spanish class told me that. Can I get demonetized for that? I don't, maybe I'll just, what should I call it? What do people call it? Snowflakes? Just be extremely careful with the prostitution and that type of stuff. If you're trying to date and you're doing it in an innocent way, that's fine, but just be extremely careful and try to be safe with it. Maybe go to public places, let your friends know where you are. I don't know. Just be extremely careful with it, because people are getting robbed and killed, and that sounds extremely scary to me. But for some people, they just don't seem to care. So, your life, not mine. And my last safety tip is probably the most obvious one. Be aware of your surroundings. Always be aware of your surroundings. This is a tip that can be used for literally any country that you visit, that you go to. You need to be aware of your surroundings. It doesn't matter if you're in Colombia, or if you're in London, or if you're in Japan, or you're in Australia, or Cape Town, or Nigeria. Be aware of your surroundings. You don't know these people. You don't know how people usually act. You have to be extremely observant. And maybe sometimes I'm too observant and I psych myself out, or I get inside my head. But I'd rather be too observant than not be observant at all and get taken advantage of. I would never put myself into bad situations, and I kind of would keep an eye out for certain people. If I see some people and I'm getting like a bad intuition about them, or I'm just getting kind of weird vibes, or I'm like, maybe don't turn down this street, maybe stay on like the main road. Just kind of like listen to your gut, listen to your intuition. Stay away from people that you're like, maybe don't go near them, don't make eye contact. I don't know. Just be aware of everything around you. You won't feel as overwhelmed, but I'm extremely observant with everything, so I just like to make sure I know what's going on around me. And also with being aware of your surroundings, know where your Airbnb, hostel, hotel, or wherever you're staying at, know like that neighborhood pretty well. So what I like to do is, instead of walking around the neighborhood and just checking out all the areas, I would take an Uber around the neighborhood a little bit, maybe like 5 minutes away, maybe go to like a cafe or a restaurant. That way you can kind of see the different streets, see the type of people that live in that neighborhood, kind of see the different bars or restaurants that are around. I kind of like to do this to kind of get a better sense of what the area is like. And usually when I would do that, I would feel more comfortable than walking back home from either the cafe, the bar, or the restaurant, and things like that. Just be extremely aware of all of your surroundings, your belongings. Remember, make sure to check your bag every once in a while to make sure you still have your wallet, your phone, your important items on you. But yeah, I found this quote on this one blog, so I wanted to share it. I don't know what the blog is, so don't focus too much on safety and talk about it constantly. It might just make you crawl into your bed, blanket wrapped tightly around you, head under your pillow, never to embark upon the world again. It might make you change your mind about something you were previously excited about. If you let the world get to you, you'll never get to the world. That was so good. I was like, that hit me. Because if I would have let outside voices and people's opinions on Colombia and in South America in general get to me, I would have never gone on that trip. And I was saying in my last video, my last day in Medellín Colombia, go watch it. I was saying in that video that I was so nervous and I almost canceled my trip and just went back to Chicago because I kept getting so many comments and people kept telling me how unsafe Colombia is and how I'm gonna get kidnapped, I'm gonna get robbed, I'm gonna get shot, the worst things are gonna happen to me. Even my first day there, I was so nervous just to leave my Airbnb because I thought someone was gonna snatch me, and I literally was fine. I was fine. I was listening to the outside voices, the people that have never even visited Colombia, South America. I'm listening to those voices, and you know what, they're gonna be the ones to stay inside their bed, stay comfortable, and I'm gonna be the one to explore and get out of my comfort zone and be grateful for it later down the road. Listen to advice, you know, just take precautions and you will be fine. So that is the first section of what to know before visiting Medellín Colombia, and that was on safety. I have so many other sections to go through, but I don't think I have much time today to record, so I may just record this different days. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you've learned a lot. If you have any more questions, just let me know in the comments below or just message me on Instagram. I get back to you guys on there as well. But thank you guys for watching this. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.